Hello, this is Marcus again in my beautiful ID.3 first, and yes, we've done it. I have got 1,000 subscribers, so a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed to this channel. That's something I'm absolutely amazed about, that I've got 1,000 subscribers, and thank you for all your comments. We've been on a really great journey together, and if you haven't clicked subscribe, please click subscribe to below. So that means I can do the 1,000 kilometer challenge in Portugal. Well, I definitely want to do it, and I am going to do it. But this weekend, it's currently Friday now, from 11 o'clock tonight, I'm not allowed outside of my council area because of the COVID situation. So it's impossible for me this weekend to do the 1,000 kilometer challenge or to drive anywhere really. My plan is, as soon as we're out of COVID lockdown, I'm going to try and do the 1,000 kilometer challenge. Obviously, I don't mind doing it in the winter. I think it's fair to do it in the winter, but it won't be a rainy, wet day. It'll have to be a dry, sunny day in the winter. And we'll do it. Hopefully I'll be able to do it this year. That's something to look forward to, and something I'm looking forward to, because it's going to be different, a 1,000 kilometer challenge in Portugal. So what am I doing now? It's a bit dark. I'm going to Ikea, so it's actually cold outside. It's 7.5 degrees Celsius. Can you believe that? There's actually the storm Dora. I actually think it's snowing in the north of Portugal at the moment currently. It's windy, it's rainy, it's wet, and it's around 5:30. So why would I go to Ikea at 5:30 in the afternoon? Well, I painted my office. I need to get a desk and another bit of furniture from Ikea, and obviously I have to go Friday evening or from 11 o'clock tonight. I'm not allowed out of my council region, and I have to go across the bridge now to Lisbon to Ikea, so I have to do it before 11 o'clock tonight, and Ikea shuts at 10 o'clock I think. I'd rather not drive at rush hour because it's coming into rush hour now, but bad weather, rush hour, going to Ikea is not a good idea. But what I wanted to do was test how well this car can take, I'm going to buy some shelves in a cupboard, and the shelves in the cupboard, the box is 2 meters long, and I can't really fit it into this car, to be honest. It's going to have to come through the passenger side. I'm going to get 2 desks, a cupboard, and we're going to see if I can fit them inside this car. Because the worst thing about this car for me, one of the worst things, I haven't really spoken about it, is that you can't put a roof rack on this car. You can put a bicycle hitch, but you cannot put a roof rack. So I can't put something of 2 meters on top of the car, unfortunately. I mean, there may be third-party solutions to a roof rack for the ID.3, but Volkswagen do not recommend it. They say the car is specifically designed not to take a roof rack. So I'm never going to put a roof rack on this car, and it's the worst thing about the ID.3. Obviously the ID.4 can take a roof rack, but not the ID.3. The Nissan Leaf can take a roof rack, I believe, but not this car. But I think I can fit this 2 meter length flat pack inside the car. I've measured it and everything, so I think it will fit. But I think this will be fun to see how I get this in the car, and the fact we don't have a roof rack, does it make much difference? And I'm also feeling this car's got some advantages for fitting things in it over a petrol or diesel car. So that's really what I wanted to show you, how we can fit flat packs in here and why it's better in here than it would be in a petrol or diesel car. So currently on the way to Ikea. I don't know if you can actually see me, I'm probably just in the dark and just talking nonsense. I've got the heating on. I've even tried the heated steering wheel. Absolutely fabulous. I didn't think I'd like the heated steering wheel so much, but it's really nice. I don't like the heated seats, to be honest. I think they make me too hot too quickly. And I probably would use them if it was colder, but because I probably would use them if range was an issue. I needed to keep warm, but currently range is not an issue. I'm going to go to Ikea, come back home. So I'm just blasting hot air through the system. It's currently at 25 degrees, keeping me nice and warm. So it is only 7.5 degrees outside, which is quite unusually cold for Portugal. This is how I've got these 2 boxes on. So as you can see here, we've got a desk 1.50 m by 75. So that's 2 of those, and some legs, some biscuits, and here's the bad boy. This box here is 2 meters. As you can see, it goes into the car up to there. As you can see, the box is here in between the seats. That's 2 meters, can't put it on the roof. The advantage here, what I was going to say, it's a bit different angle than what I thought, but compared to an ICE car is, I don't think it's a big problem here, but there's no gear lever here, there's no buttons here. So really you could put the box a bit more into here and it really wouldn't disturb you for driving. I've got perfect visibility all around. But look, I parked in a vehicle hybrid spot. It says for hybrid vehicles, and I'm an electric car. I wonder what that's called. Is that called, have I electrified the hybrid driver by parking in the hybrid spot? But as we can see here, there's actually 2 spots for electric vehicles with chargers. Currently there's a BMW i3 there, and I believe Nero, not fully electric Nero, a plug-in one. But I decided to park in the hybrid spot because there's no electric spot without these 2 with charging, and I didn't want to charge, so I've been cheeky and parked in the hybrid spot. So if a hybrid driver wanted this spot, they would be stuffed. So let's leave the hybrid spot so that a hybrid driver can use it. There's really no advantage in this hybrid spot here unless the car park was completely full, because it's not exactly close to the entrance. Probably a good thing for the electric vehicles anyway. Keep them far from the entrance so the spaces don't get iced. You can see there's a BMW i3 and a plug-in Nero. We've just got one of these posts here. Probably need more, I guess. Now what I want to do is show you adaptive cruise control in heavy traffic, because I've never really used adaptive cruise control in heavy traffic before. Oh look, you can see the lights telling us to turn right here. It's nice. Unfortunately it's dark, you won't see much, but we might actually be able to see this screen better. So write in the comments, what is it called when a pure electric vehicle parks in the spot of a hybrid vehicle? Hang on a minute, the boot's telling me that it's not shut properly. So I guess I should stop somewhere and try and shut the boot properly, but that's going to be hard. If the boot's not shut properly, you see it's red there, then it could mean that I'll lose all my boxes. But I can't get out and stop anywhere at the moment. It didn't beep or anything, did it? I'd expect the car to beep if the boot was still meant to be here. I mean, it's not open, it looks shut, but probably it's not shut very well. It's like a day-to-day video in the ID.3 first, getting rubbish furniture. There's nowhere to stop the car until the other side of the bridge, which is about 20 kilometers away. Now, unless I pull off and go, you know, into Lisbon. I really don't want to go into Lisbon, especially this time of day, but the boot seems shut. I'm sure it's being oversensitive. So we'll see if I lose all my gear or not on the way. It's just pity because you won't see the adaptive cruise control so well when I turn it on. I've set the adaptive cruise control to 90 kilometers an hour. Now we're slowing down now because we're getting into a bit of traffic going on the bridge. Oh, there looks like there's traffic queue ahead. It's going to slow me down, the adaptive cruise control. Slow me down, the adaptive cruise control. It's slowing me down. So now we're in slow traffic. So now let's see how well the adaptive cruise control does here. It's set at 90 kilometers an hour. Obviously we're only doing 44 at the moment because the traffic is bad. Someone pulled out in front of me and I put the brakes on there. I don't know if the car was going to do that, but I didn't risk it, so I put the brakes on there. The car perhaps would have seen it, but I made sure I did it. So I've set the cruise control back up to, it's set up to 40 kilometers an hour. So I'm not sure if the cruise control saw that or not, but I put my foot on the brake just to be sure. I still have to be in control, but it's set to 40 kilometers an hour and it's slowing us down to 2 kilometers an hour. Yeah, so if someone pulls in front of you like that, the car may have reacted, but I didn't give the car the chance to react again. I'm putting my foot again on the brakes. It seems everyone wants to jump in front of me. Like I said, I don't know if the car would react to that, but it seems I'm reacting quicker than the car to that situation. And I don't want to risk it because I really don't want to hit a car. So I can't really test if it would have come in the end or not. I guess it would because it's got front assist, but it would have slammed the brakes on. But now I've got it back onto automatic cruise control set to 40 kilometers an hour, just to see if it starts moving. Yeah, now it's doing it all on its own. Provided no one jumps out in front of me, should be okay. I don't know if you really see the cars coming in and out. You can see the adaptive cruise control here. So we've got a car in front of us here doing 6 kilometers an hour. My feet aren't touching the pedals, is my foot. It's just, you know, hovering near the brake in case I believe I need to use it, because these are assistance systems. You still have to be in control, but you know, it is very relaxing because I'm not doing that game where you're putting your foot on the accelerator, take your foot off the accelerator, on the accelerator, off accelerator. I'm just letting the adaptive cruise control do everything. Actually it's in D mode. I haven't really tried traffic in B mode. I'll have to do that one day. The boot is still not flown open, it's still closed, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. When I get to the petrol station, or what is an electric car station in fact, the other end, I'm going to stop there, shut the boot properly. So this is the most boring video ever. Adaptive cruise control in stop start traffic. It's almost brought me to a stop now because the van in front of me is completely stopped. It's 0 kilometers an hour. If it starts moving again, let's see if the car starts moving. I think there's a time. It starts moving when a certain time where it start moving. Oh yes, I didn't do anything. The car started moving on its own, yes. So it's speeding up a bit now, but it's in the other car in front, so it's slowing down a bit. Yeah, really relaxing actually. It's great in traffic jams, this adaptive cruise control. Obviously the car's relaxing, because I remember in my last car, you had stop start, and when you put your foot off, when you put your foot up and brake in the traffic, you could make it stop, the engine stop, but to start it again you had to put it in gear, and the engine would, and you'd have that little jolt of the engine starting, and then you'll move off again. In this electric car it's just so smooth. Oh, there's a Model X by the side of me. I'm being overtaken by a Model X. That's how much quicker Model X's are. So it's great to see all these electric cars in Portugal, really great. Hope to see a lot more of them. Especially cars doing everything for me. My problem here, I've got the it's set to 40 kilometers an hour, so that's why I wasn't going quicker than 40 kilometers an hour, but I set it to 70 now. Actually set it to 100. Let's see, is it working out? This car, yeah, it's slowing down. I'm not doing anything, so even though we went up to higher speed there, we're slowing down. I've just overtaken the Tesla. Oh, how exciting is this? Overtaken Tesla Model X. It's doing everything for me. I don't have to do anything. Actually, while we're here, I want to talk to you about something else. Expectations. So I know there's 2 or 3 ID.3 YouTubers who have had bad experiences with their ID.3, especially around the 12-volt battery. Now these people live in colder climates where it does get colder. I believe both of these cars are currently in the garage, and they're not happy. Obviously they won't be happy because they've got this 12-volt battery problem. I've had no problems whatsoever with the 12-volt battery, but I believe it's because I'm in a warmer climate, and perhaps it's because I've got the first edition and not the Plus and the Max. Perhaps there's something in the Plus and the Max causing it, such as the keyless entry. I don't have keyless entry, thank God, so I'm not sure. But obviously they're not happy, they're very frustrated. I don't think they're not really saying bad things against Volkswagen. These things happen. But a lot of people have seen their videos and they've been saying how bad Volkswagen is, how bad the software is. So I want to speak about expectations. So I know when I got this car, Volkswagen said there would be 2 things missing, and they are missing. The first thing is Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Yeah, and they said for the Max, head-up display would be missing. So full head-up display would be missing, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So a lot of people bought the ID.3 first as first movers, because the car was delayed, because it didn't come with all the features. You have to remember, they either give you 3 months leasing or they give you a free charging cable. So for me, they give me a free €1,000 charging cable, you know, because the car was slightly delayed and because some of the features were missing. So it seems like a lot of first movers are very disappointed with the bugs in the ID.3 first, because Volkswagen hasn't been very clear. Volkswagen has just said there'll be an update in January next year, and you'll have these 2 extra features. But a lot of first movers weren't expecting so many bugs. But that's always been my expectation. I knew as a first mover that there's going to be bugs. Particularly if you look at some of my older videos, I think in March I talked about what the Manager magazine was saying about the software problems with the ID.3 and the delays in the software. And at that time I did say Volkswagen are creating a completely new Volkswagen operating system from scratch, and that's very complicated to do, and this is the first car to receive this completely new operating system that they've done from scratch. And you know, to do a completely new operating system from scratch is extremely complex and extremely difficult. So I always expected the car to have bugs, but it seems like, because again I believe this is Volkswagen's communications problem, because they said there's only 2 features missing. They didn't really specify you can have lots of other bugs as well. People have been overly disappointed, even though people have you know, have been given things with the First Movers Club. And I completely appreciate this, because I think this is completely and utterly Volkswagen's fault. For some reason they're not clear, they're too down the marketing path, and I think in the long run this harms them. This harms Volkswagen, it harms the ID.3. So for me, honestly, there's been 2 or 3 bugs in here, nothing major. They're so small, all I have to do is reset the entertainment screen. Now obviously there's a few improvements I'd like here, but to me, the software, for me, this is just my opinion, I know other people may have different opinions, and if I had had a 12-volt battery problem and this was in the garage, I may be angrier. Obviously I would be angrier, but my expectations for the software were lower than this, and the software to me is much better than I expected. Much better than I expected. I expect next year them to improve the software and in January to be better, but to me it's more fluid than I expected, it's clearer than I expected, I think it's more finished than I expected. I'm not saying it's perfect, I think this area here is more or less perfect. Perhaps you could change 1 or 2 things here, but really minor things. The same here, there's really minor things. Again, the worst area for me is this area vehicle here. There's definitely things missing here, like if you click on location, I don't want location meant to be, but this function's not yet available. That's fine, if they say it's not yet available. I cannot really say I've had bugs that I can complain about. It connects beautifully to Bluetooth, radio works, climate works absolutely perfectly. I like classic climate. I put on air care a minute ago because I was in a tunnel, there's a lot of diesel cars, and that seemed to clean the air inside the car. That's great. I know, and as you can see, it's quite fluid. I think it's fluid. Obviously it could be a bit fluid. It's not as fluid as the Tesla Model 3 software. It's not that fluid, but it's certainly more fluid than not a lot of cars, and it's definitely more fluid than I was expecting. So if you're thinking, I believe people who are going to get their ID.3s very soon are going to get the latest software update in January. The latest software update, I don't believe it's going to fix every bug. I think it features, I think it's going to be much better. But all I'm saying is I've really not had any problems with this car in terms of software. Look at the adaptive cruise control now. We've been using adaptive cruise control all this way in slow traffic. It's just worked perfectly. It's working perfectly. It's recognising the car in front exactly. It's got this boot thing, but I think that boot thing is really because I didn't shut the boot properly, so that was my fault. If you want to order an ID.3 now and you're worried about the software, don't be. You'll probably get an updated version than what I've got. You'll get the latest version that's meant to be coming out in January, and really it's not that bad. Sometimes some people have a few issues on the internet. If you go search for problems, ID.3 software problems, you will find them. There's no doubt about that, but sometimes because somebody's written a software problem in Facebook or the internet, some people grab that and it gets exploded and it gets made worse than it is. Now other manufacturers have suffered from this. Tesla suffered from this. When Tesla's brought out new cars, it's had one or two software issues. I think they've been exaggerated how bad the issues are. I mean, obviously the 12-volt issue is the only issue I would consider to be a serious issue, but it doesn't seem there's that many people who have had that issue. And in terms of charging, drive and everything, navigation, everything just seems to work. It's going to get better, they're going to add more features. So if you're thinking about buying an ID.3 first, but you think the software won't be up to it, don't worry about the software. The software's fine. Just buy the car and the software will only get better. And as it is at the moment, I've got the first version of the software that was made available to public. I've had the car for 2 months and I just think it's fine. But I am a developer, so I have a different view about software probably to the majority of people. So as you can see, adaptive cruise control has been working perfectly in this slow traffic, and the Tesla Model X has overtaken us again. It's been working perfectly in this slow traffic. I've not had to put my foot on the accelerator or brake. Absolutely amazing. So as you can see, the adaptive cruise control part of this software is great, and what I love, it's giving you information here. It's showing us there's a car in front and we're keeping behind it. You know, it's got this green line here. Yeah, it's working really well. You know, these are parts of the software I really appreciate. The adaptive cruise control, I mean the air condition, everything. I really appreciate this part of the software. I absolutely like the mapping. I think they're going to improve the mapping and put charging points in it and stuff, and be able to calculate your route, including charging stops, because currently it doesn't do that, but the next update should be able to do that. You know, sometimes when you're stop start go traffic, particularly in a petrol car or a car that doesn't have adaptive cruise control or stop start, your foot does start to ache after a while, because you keep playing with the accelerator, playing with the brake, playing with the clutch. You know, you're doing clutch, brake, accelerator, all that. It's just horrible. Here there's none of that. So this was the bridge. In my last video we were going over at 120 kilometers an hour. Obviously this is Friday evening, rush hour. Unfortunately we can't do 120 kilometers an hour. It is limited today to 80 kilometers an hour. That's probably because of the bad weather and the wind. Let's just have a look at stats, shall we, for a laugh. So I started at 81%, got 64%, so that means I've used 16%. So I've had a heater on and everything. Used 16%. Yeah, since the start we've done 49 kilometers, and that average is 18.7 kilowatts. So I've had the heating on, the weather's bad, the weather's 8 degrees, it's windy, it's raining, 50 kilometers, 16%, that's great. Yeah, another thing about the software, so the app is really basic, but it works. You can stop charging, you can start charging, and what you can do, you set the car to be hot or cold, you know, from the mobile app. And it's a bit slow, but it does work. I think the app's going to be improved a lot. I think that's something they're going to improve over time. But there's a couple of features on there that just work, and you know, that's all you want. All you want is to be able from the app to see the charging status, be able to stop and start charging, and be able to turn on the heating or the climate control. Those main things work. Obviously we'd prefer other features in the app for it to be a bit quicker, but I mean it's working. And Hello ID is actually working as well. I said it and it comes up. So as long as you know the commands for Hello ID, it actually works better than I was expecting. That keeps coming up when I say it. It works well. So if one of your concerns about getting an ID.3 is software, that shouldn't be a concern whatsoever. Don't worry about the software. You go and test drive one, play around with the software a bit, and if you're happy with it, just get it. But don't worry that you're going to get loads of bugs. I can't remember the last time I really got a bug here. There's really been nothing. I know a lot of people have been complaining, especially with the 12-volt battery issue. They get a lot of messages here. I don't get any messages of anything, apart from when I don't shut the boot properly, which is fine. You see, basically, we've done the whole bridge in adaptive cruise control in this slow traffic. Look, slowing down again, it's doing it all. Yeah, I'm really confident in this in start-stop traffic. Again, as I said, the car is pulling in. I think that's where you have to keep an eye on it. I think it would probably work with front assist, but I can't risk it. I guess what the Volkswagen should have done is got the software completely perfect and only given the ID.3 first drivers the car in January, as they would usually do. But they really need to get these cars out. They'd spent so much time talking about them, and it was becoming embarrassing if they'd delayed them any longer. And for me, I really needed the car when I got it in October. Actually, I'd have preferred it in August or September. I really needed the car in October, and now I'd be pulling my hair out if I still had to wait till January to get the car. I mean, I'm perfectly happy they give me the car when they did, and they give me a €1,000 Energy kit portable wall box, and for me that's actually better. I'd rather have the car early, a few issues, the wall box, but really I haven't really had any issues, to be honest with you. Some people have been unlucky, but my expectations were low. I'm going to turn off here and shut the boot. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of EV Journey. I don't think I'm going to do any more. Please click subscribe. If you are one of the 1,000 people who did click subscribe, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's really made me happy.